All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live here on Facebook again. We are very fortunate from the Southwest office to have real estate extraordinaires, Lori Koentopp and Linda Chain. Welcome to the show, ladies. As you can hear, the studio audience goes crazy. So let's go left to right. Let's start with you, Lori. Tell us a little about yourself, how long you've been doing this wonderful thing called real estate, and all that good stuff, please.
Okay, I've been in Las Vegas about 40 years, or actually a little over 40 years. I've been in real estate 16 years, and I was talked into going into real estate by my lovely partner, Linda Jane. And so I'll let her introduce herself, and then we can go into how we kind of got into this.
That was a good move, Linda. Good, you're smart. Good move.
I know. Wasn't I perceptive of knowing the skills that she had? Little
Right.
did I know that when we were on the golf course in 2008 playing golf that she would be so talented in real estate.
Yeah, right.
But the last 16 years has proved that. I moved here in 1991. I was in healthcare consulting prior to that. And then I took some time off, played golf. That's how I met Lori. We met in 2000 and became fast friends. And then one day I said, I'm going to go to real estate school. She said, why would you do that? I said, well, my husband's in commercial real estate and we like to look at houses. I think it would be a blast. And she said,
Hell no. I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
Anyway.
she did.
Yeah.
So the way it played out, I did go to real estate school. And then she was watching me. She said, okay, I'll go to real estate school. So then we finished up all our classes together. And then we studied profusely for the test. And the day we finished the class to prepare you for the test, Lori said, I'm going to take the test right now. And she was done. She passed the test, ready to get her license, and here we are.
Yeah.
All right, and you've had some really good years since then too. Last year was a good year. This year's a good year. Tell them a little about all the good stuff. Because you're on the production list every single time. You're always way up there in your office. So give me a little idea of how you do this and what kind of how's it going so far this year for you?
This year I started out with a bang. I was going crazy, and then I felt the market change. I felt like it just totally slowed. I'm more of a listing agent than a buyer's agent, but I do both, of course. But it kind of really slowed down, and I think that's what's so important about having a partner is Linda tends more to be a buyer's agent. So we kind of really know really well that way. So I was going crazy at the beginning of the year, and then I slowed down, and then Linda just took off with a bang. So we're having a great year because we're both, doing different things. And my listings are kind of stagnant right now. So we're finding some different things to try to advertise them, trying some different things. So we'll share that in a little bit, but. Yeah, it's been a good year. I think we'll finish strong this year.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we've got the whole fourth quarter to go.
You're up in your office as usual. You guys are up there way in your office. You're doing extremely well. In the market, you know what I've noticed? You're right. The year started off a little quicker. It kind of went on pause for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And now with the Fed finally talking about lowering the rates and so forth, the last couple of weekends, the open houses have been very busy, so it's definitely picking up. Are you feeling that too, Linda, from the buyer side, that it's picking up a little bit?
Oh, definitely. I've had so many buyers and closings. I've got 2 more in a week, so I lost count of my buyers through the summer. But very, very active, even though we had some listings in Red Rock as well, and they sold in one day. So right. I attribute that to pricing it right and the seller ready to sell, price it right, let's get this house sold, as compared to some of Lori's listings, which are pretty typical of a lot of the market. The people have a price that they want, and it's hard to get them to come off that price.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm working on it.
You do have pockets of where, like I have agents I coach, that you take a listing, 6 days later it sells, multiple offers, and then you have some that are really nice sitting for 90 days too. It's kind of an interesting market. It depends on, and like you said, Linda, the price really makes a big difference right now, doesn't it?
Right.
It does.
Absolutely.
It does. Sun City House I put under contract a week ago. They were listed at 425, but it had been on the market for 5 weeks and they wanted to sell. So we came in at 385 and they countered at 390 and we're under contract for 390.
Nice.
Yeah, it's also catching the sellers at the right time where their motivation is the highest.
Yeah.
Right. No, it's true. It's true.
Not yet, but they will be.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So let's start with you, Lori. You're a primary listing agent. You work a lot of high end and so forth. How do you keep that business going? How do you keep those listings coming in?
I think that it's more meeting people, staying in touch with your sphere, and I try to keep myself out there a lot, just meeting different people and going to functions and things like that. Networking seems to be the best way for me. I'm not a caller. I like to meet people in person more. So that's what's worked for me mostly.
Yeah, about 3 years ago, maybe a little longer, Lori said, I don't think open houses are for me. And cold calling is definitely not for me. I'm going to start networking. And she did. And the first year, it didn't pay off a lot. And then it started paying off like crazy. And so from that, she's experienced that when she gets to know someone in a group, to then get to know their group of friends, and it just springboards from there.
Yeah,
so she's,
I guess, being more yourself and just making friends. So it's not that out there really networking and saying, hey, I'm an agent, use me. I'm making friends and I enjoy that. I like meeting new people. So
that's great. Yeah. And you're smart. You dig from their, you make them part of your sphere. And then when they're part of your sphere, then you dig into their sphere and increase yours even further. So never forget, you said the key thing. I like talking to people. As long as you talk to people, it can be over the phone. It can be in open houses. It can be networking. It can be at, your HOA meetings, wherever you do it. Okay. As long as you're talking to people and sometimes new people, all right, then you're going to keep filling your pipeline.
And being yourself. That's so important. Not to be out there trying to sell. Just be yourself and, just enjoy it. And,
and let people know what you do.
Yeah. But
yourself,
I feel like I'm ever pushy. So I should be more pushy, but I'm not. I'm just being myself. So.
Well, as long as you're being yourself and you're like Linda says, you're letting them know what you do as well, then you don't have to be pushy. I mean, the old being a hammer or being slamming the phone down. I mean, that's like 1985. You don't have to. That's not something that needs to be done today. Your job today, your fiduciary responsibility, basically requires you to get people what they want, as long as it's realistic, ethical, and moral, and then it's your job. If you sign a contract with them, then that becomes your job. So that's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
How about you, Linda? How do you keep the wheels greased?
Most of mine is networking with my buyer sphere, and which is fairly large. A lot of people from California, probably 50% of our buyers are still from California, even though people say Californians aren't coming as fast as they used to, but that's not what we find. Then our sphere for when we first started, I've got clients over 15 years that have bought 3 or 4 different homes from us and continue to. That was the one in Sun City that I put under contract last week. We met her floor. We were doing floor back in 2008 and 2009. Nice. And that's how we met this client. And she's always been totally loyal, and she sent us a lot of business. She's from Hawaii, so we've gotten some Hawaii contacts that way as well.
Excellent. Yeah, I love Sun City. They have 3 golf courses, but my favorites are Palm Valley and Highland. Those are 2 really nice golf courses. I just played one on Monday. It was a great day for it too.
No, those courses are too easy for you. You need something more challenging.
Hey, people always say, you got to make it tougher. No, I prefer it easier. It's already a tough sport.
Yeah. I haven't been able to make it out there.
Yeah, I want 100-yard wide fairways and no sand and water.
No trouble.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. No, trouble's fun when you hit over the trouble. But both of those have some interesting trouble.
They're
Water
nice
and
courses.
yeah, they're nice courses. I like them because they're right next to my house too. But okay, so I have to ask you because you guys, you offered it. Is Lori, you deal primarily with listings, and Linda, is that something you guys decided, or you just kind of naturally morphed into that?
It just kind of fell that way. We didn't have, of course I take whatever, comes my way. I don't ever turn anybody down or, it doesn't matter how big it is, how little it is. I've sold a $4 million house and a $60,000 condo in the same week. So
Right.
you just never turn away anything. You just always help. That's what we're here to do, is not really sell houses. We're here to help people find their dream home or sell their home and move on. So I guess if you just kind of think that way, you're not just, doing one thing. So yeah, I just kind of fell into, I don't know why I get more listings.
I think it's because of your networking, because you make friends with people, and as you know them, then one day they say, hey, I'm thinking about selling my house. Or I need a bigger house. But I would say that that's probably a big catalyst.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, she's always available. We both are always available.
That's so true.
7 days a week.
Yeah.
Even though from the early years, we used to work at night when it was dark in the winter. Now we don't do that anymore. That was kind of a little dangerous, but it gave us a taste.
Well, it's funny you say that because when I call agents, I've called you both this year to say, hey, congratulations on your production. You guys are killing it. Great job. You both picked up your phone right away, right? Matter of fact, Linda, you said like this, hi, Rick. And then Lori, the way she always says to me, hi, honey. So you guys, you pick up your phone, you're available. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know. I think that's kind of, Las Vegas, like when I moved here 15 years ago, and I was just trying to get a rental at first, I couldn't get anybody to pick up a phone on Saturday and Sunday, right? But it's kind of interesting the way I jokingly say the work week in Las Vegas is Tuesday to Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday is the weekend. But it's amazing how agents, I think, if you're professional and you're available, you're going to do more business, right?
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I just actually had an experience selling a commercial suite, office suite. And the guy had moved to town before I met him. I had listed the office suite, and he said something really interesting, that he had bought a home from another agent. And he said, I met the agent at the beginning and then I never saw her again. He said, you were so hands-on during this whole experience buying this office suite. He said, if you don't mind, I want to keep your information. And next time I buy a house, I want to use you. So I was like, oh, I think that's good and bad because we don't have a lot of time for ourselves because we are so hands-on. But I think that sets us apart from other agents that, that do it, they just push it off. Once they, have the contract signed, they walk away. So I don't know if it's good or bad. It's just the way we do it. Yeah.
Well, it's definitely good. You got to carve out that time to go on vacation and stuff too, but it's definitely good to be hands-on. Speaking of that, let's get into this. We'll start with you, Linda. You guys can go back and forth. I like to always ask, what's the top 3 things? But since there's 2 of you, we can even go 4 or 5. But, if I'm an agent and I'm trying to maximize this market, make my business better, what's the number 1, 2, 3, and 4 pieces of advice you'd give them, Linda? Let's start with 1 with you.
Well, when Lori and I started, we were told by the agency we were in that not to put contacts in the company database to create our sphere because the company might steal them, which is totally wrong. We later found out. But because that was some early kind of training, if you will, we have been very lax, both of us equally, in creating our database. And I wish we had it. And now to go back 16 years, we can pick a lot of it up, but a lot of people have moved and without stayed in touch. We don't know that they've moved or changed emails or things like that. So the biggest thing I would say to any agents is make sure you keep your database, establish it early on, and don't drop it.
And stay in touch. You have to stay in touch with them because a lot of these people, we went back and tried to put them in, and we found out they sold their house. They had moved and they didn't use us because we didn't keep in contact with them.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got to treat it like a business too, and just draw on what you've done in the past.
And don't be afraid of hiring somebody to do that if that's what it takes to get it done. We haven't done that. But when you look at the numbers, yeah.
But
I
it sounds
know.
like a great
We
idea.
tried a couple times.
Yeah, we've tried a couple of times. We've trained the people, and then one was transferred, the other one retired. So things changed in their lives. So we were left with training somebody again. So then we were like, well, by the time we train somebody, we can just do it ourselves, which is a bad way of thinking, because we really need that extra time to do the important things, and not, that's important also, but not, it's time consuming.
Yeah, I mean, it would be great if there was a way when we put information in SkySlope, if it would also take that same information and drop it in to our database or any agent's database. Because I think what happens is you get so tired of entering the same information. Here's the offer and here's all the information for buying or listing the house. And then you put it in SkySlope, and then you put it in the home warranty place, and then you put it here and there. So by the time you're done, you've entered that information so many times that you're like, do I have to do it again? But if it was transitional from, SkySlope might not be the solution, but from one of those websites to another, I think it would really help.
Yeah, a rumor has it that that's in the works. So let's hope that
That's great.
If you put it in one place, it'll go everywhere. And I think they're working on that. Actually,
I think that would be a phenomenal tool.
Yeah, absolutely. So what I'm hearing you say is, don't take advice from the wrong agents. Get your CRM. Can you imagine? That is the craziest piece of advice I've ever heard of. But so build your CRM, make sure they're getting drips from you. So be digital. Also, like Lori said, you also want to talk to them all the time. You just got to stay in touch and keep up to date with your CRM and your Sphere. And we have a great tool here called the VAC, so you can do it right in there too.
Yeah, and with people's birthdays, with anniversaries, things of that nature, which is a reason to get in touch with them aside from trying to sell and reminding them that you're in real estate. Just a really nice thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, you guys have both taken my success series. I call that commission breath. Don't have commission breath all the time. Right? All right. And then treat them like real people. Be yourself around them. Treat them like real people. That's why I told you guys would kill it on your social media if you did that on your social media. Be yourself on your social media. Get it out to everybody. I guarantee you do business from that as well. We'll get there one step.
We just hired a company to start that. So that's one of the things that we're trying to change during this little slump that I'm feeling. To get my listing sold, we started doing some videos on social media. We're getting used to that.
Yeah.
And we did another thing with homes.com, which we just became a preferred agent with them. And I don't know if you've seen that, but it pushes your listings up at the top of their. So if you go on and search, your listings come up with your picture and contact information before other people's or other agents' information will come up. So it keeps it at the top, keeps it fresh.
Yes.
We are having, so far, we'll get back to you on the success we've had with it. We've only had it going on a few weeks. But the views that we've gotten on our listings compared to Zillow's views, which we're not doing a premiere on Zillow right now, we have in the past, but it's been phenomenal. There's been really large numbers viewing the properties.
Yeah, it's really interesting because Zillow right now is still the number one pick for people to search. But when we compare the number of searches and hits on Zillow on the same listing to homes.com, it's double. And so maybe those statistics are changing.
Yeah. Let's hope.
See. Yeah. And then they're doing the Matterports for us for free. Well, it's not for free. We paid them for the service, but they're coming out and doing Matterports on each one of our listings. So we're just doing that. We've got 4 done so far. I got 2 more this week. So yeah, I guess we'll just kind of report back how that worked for us.
Right. And when you say Matterport, you mean the 3D, right? The 3D showing like you're walking through the house? Yeah.
Yeah. So they come out and do that. It's actually pretty intense when they're filming that.
It takes a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's pretty amazing when you watch it. You're like, wow,
Yeah.
this is pretty crazy. I
Yeah.
feel like
Yes.
it's because you are.
But back to social media, that was another thing that we hadn't gotten involved in, just like um, uh, keeping our CRM up to date. We just didn't do it. And we get things every day, email that post this on Facebook or your social media. We didn't do it. So finally we said, okay, we're going to hire somebody. So as Lori said, we're just 3 weeks into it, but we hired a social media company to take that responsibility. And we're getting so many hits on the things we're posting, be it still pictures or the videos. Everybody has been commenting. And what we're learning, these girls are younger, and so they know what's trending. And
Yeah.
we would not necessarily know what's trending. So we're just trying to find the right one that then goes viral. And hopefully it'll be one that Lori does this week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Are they getting you to do videos like where you're actually talking and stuff too? Or you guys, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. That's
Well,
not
you guys
me.
well, think about it. Like you said, Laurie, people get to know you. You know, they see your personality. You know, that's one of the reasons people use you guys. Both you, Laurie, and Lynn. I mean, they get to know you. They see how professional you guys are. You guys know your business. You know, I mean, you have a great brand. Okay, I know I'm a company guy. I'm supposed to say that, but I actually believe it. Right? So you have all these things going for you too. And the more exposure that you have, digital, social, talking, physically seeing people, all that good stuff is incredibly good for your business. So congratulations.
Thank
Now,
you.
if you want to get super crazy, rumor has it that Rick Berube, oh, that's me, is doing a call clinic at the St. Rose office next Thursday, 9/11, September 11th, from 8 to noon. So if you want to get crazy and see some crazy people on the phone, come on down.
Well, Rick, we would love to do that, but we're both out of town.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll give you
I know I leave on Monday. So
Yeah.
sorry. But yeah, maybe we can listen in and see what's going on.
Yeah, no problem. All right, cool. All right. Well, you know what? I promised we'd get you out of here on time. So any final words you want to leave these lovely people today?
Just work hard. Work hard, enjoy it, play hard when you're not working, and have a business partner.
I was going to say, find somebody you like working with. We're totally opposites, so we do totally different things, and it's worked for us. So find somebody you like working with, and enjoy it. It's work, but it's fun.
It's the old saying, business opposites attract. Or is that said quite like that? I don't know if it's said quite like that.
Well, we complement each other, and that's
Yes.
what makes it work. So
It's very, even in this interview, you can see the way you complement each other and finish each other's sentences. It's really, really good. I can see you guys, and you guys, your results speak for themselves. You guys do an incredible job. So pleasure
you.
working with you two
Thank
ladies.
you
all-
for having us.
yeah, thanks for having us, Rick. This has been enjoyable, and we'll report back on homes.com next time.
I'd love to hear it, and I'm sure people got some nuggets out of here. So thank you for sharing your wisdom and all that good stuff. Really appreciate you. Thank you very much, ladies.
Thanks.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye now.